no time to talk. Dropping that, winning more. I've been playing cards since I was born, and that's alright. It's okay. You may play your turn today. You can try to understand the innocentness forming man. Whether you're a player or whether you're a watcher, now you're listening live. Listening live. Whether you're a player or whether you're a watcher, now you're listening live. Listening live. Listening live. Listening live. Listening live.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Edison Club podcast, featuring me as the lead singer of the Bee Gees.
What an intro. Was quite amazing.
It's going to be iconic. I'm going to try out for America's Got Talent next month, so if you guys could go and support my funds for that, that'd be awesome.
That is going to be the theme song of the next Yu-Gi-Oh series.
Yeah, so I went over earlier and I was like, I really want an introduction song for this thing. And there actually is a song by, oddly enough, by the Bee Gees called Edison. And it's about Thomas Edison. But it says like, Edison's here to stay. So I was like, I'm definitely going to use that eventually. Okay, so topics for tonight are, why did you quit Modern Yu-Gi-Oh to just play Edison format or to primarily focus on Edison format? And then we're also going to weigh the pros and cons of Edison format versus Modern format. So who would like to start us off here? Why did you quit Modern Yu-Gi-Oh?
Sure, I'll take it.
All right, Cole starting.
All right, well, I was kind of out of the game for a while, to be fair. I think I quit around the time like Lynx came out. I didn't really like the way they kind of changed the way the game was played in a different way. They didn't just add something to the game, they also kind of took away. And no other game mechanic has done that, and I don't know, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But after Master Rule 5 and everything, and years later, I came back. What was it, last year around that time? During like Sword Soul branded format, and I just really wanted to scratch the itch because I got onto Master Duel, and I just wanted to play, and it did the job for a while. But it's like as soon as people were talking about like past formats wanting to play, I just jumped on board as fast as I could, and I just feel like it's so much more of what Yu-Gi-Oh is to me, like older formats like Edison or even other ones, like all the ones that I played through pretty much. And as soon as there was like a community for it is all I really needed to know, because I mean, it's probably one of the largest growing, if not like the largest retro format. And having all the interaction and stuff that Modern kind of lacks, or it can have interaction, but it's all within 1 or 2 turns, and you have to have cards to interact. Like if you don't have hand traps, then there isn't interaction. And so, going through and like playing the decks I played growing up and stuff, and then
Modern Yu-Gi-Oh is not like forgiving at all. If you look at your opening 5 cards and you don't see hand traps, it's over. You should just go to the next game 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, it's rough, but yeah, that's all I'll say for why I got back into Edison rather than Modern.
All right, who wants to go next, Justin or Austin? I'll go last as always.
One reason I can't win in Modern.
That's a fair reason. That's a fair reason.
Second off, like I just don't like the way the game is played now. It's a different game than it was. I still play Modern time to time. I still like last format, this one that just ended as of Monday. I really didn't find a lot of joy in, And Edison, like, gosh, man, you can buy 4 or 5 decks for the price of a tier 1 modern deck. Plus, I mean, for the most part, like, the format is solved. I know it's changing. People are coming up with new decks and everything, but like, you don't have to worry about getting rid of a deck because the ban list is going to hit it. You don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, the next set's coming out and there's a $700 core in it. I got to buy the $700 core so I can keep playing. And like, at least in our area, I know I live further away from, than you guys do, but the pricing is just better.
Yeah, I'll touch on that again later, but that's a big reason for me. Like, going to big Konami events, I mean, it's fine, to go and to win, and, you get like the bragging rights, but the only thing you're really playing for is a mat and a deck box. Like, and if you win one of these Edison events, like this weekend, you can win a $150 card. Next weekend, we can take home a PS5. Following weekend is several boxes of the new set, and then the following weekend is $1,000 in cash. So, like, you come out a lot better, like, I think, grinding to try to get better at Edison because you're getting real prizing.
Yeah, since, okay, so think of modern events, like all you have is case tourneys, right?
Yeah.
You might have cash tournaments here and there, but for Edison, in just the short time that we've been playing it competitively, we've had 2 Switch tournaments. We've had a $500 or $600 cash tournament. Yeah, $1,000 coming up, a PS5 tournament, and this is all in the span of like 2 months.
Yeah, we've had more tournaments for Edison in 2 months than we have for Modern in like a while.
Yeah, and not to mention like side events. I think the last couple YCSs, I know the last one, Leon didn't have like the Light and Darkness Dragon playmat, but the Light and Darkness Dragon playmat from the YCS, I think it was Minneapolis or whichever one that it debuted in, was like worth $400 to $500, and there were 50 of them given out. Right?
Yeah.
That's worth more than the Switch that you can get for getting first place in the main event.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Do you want to add anything else, or is that your piece?
Yeah, that, and just because like that's what we grew up with. Was like the Synchro era, right?
Yeah.
So like the DM and the Synchro era. So that's got a lot to do with it too. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Austin?
It goes along with a lot with what Cole said. Getting to play these decks that we grew up with. It's just been super fun and a good trip down memory lane. Also with Modern, I feel like with Yu-Gi-Oh! Modern now, it's all about like how fast can you play, because you got to win as quick as you can. And all these decks are like super, super fast. So you're not really getting to play the game. Games might last 2 or 3 turns max.
Yeah.
So you're not really getting to play a whole lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do. We're playing a card game designed for 6-year-olds, which I know it says that on the pack, but there's not very many good 6-year-olds. We're playing a game that's designed for fun and to be a hobby, and the game's just turned into how fast can you play. And that's just not super fun. It's not super enjoyable. And I know the format's changing now because we just got the new ban list. But I feel like Modern, it's more slower. It's slow paced. You get to take your time. You get to play the game. It goes past turn 2 or 3. And I know I'm one to speak. I play Dragon Turbo, so my deck is.
You're basically playing
a
Modern deck.
Yeah, my deck's designed to be super fast when it hits. So I just feel like there's more time to play the game. And that's what I enjoy about Edison and not so much with Modern.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have several pages of information written down here because this is one I've been preparing for a while, because a lot of people ask me, You know, like what makes this better for me. And I could probably sit here for hours and talk about why I prefer this format over modern. One of the biggest reasons is something we kind of lightly touched on earlier was the prizing. I do like how you can get real prizes. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with people winning play mats and deck boxes and stuff like that. But like, if I'm going to commit like a lot of time into something and a lot of money, whether it be for decks or whether it be for traveling to events, I really want to like get some of that return back. And I think that it makes it worth it when you go and you win something real. Not that I would know that, but at least I think that's how that would feel. So I don't mind dedicating more time for Edison than to modern because I'm going to actually be winning real prizes. I think that the end goal of, you know, winning and having like the metaphorical trophy at the end of the tournament just is more appealing to me because of that. And another big reason is like, so I feel like throughout Yu-Gi-Oh's history, up until like the last couple years, once the meta was decided, like right, like so like X deck is the best deck, and everyone knows it, that the format pretty much stayed the same until a ban list came and changed the format. Well, my last experience with Modern was like I could have my deck exactly how I want it. It's going fine, but then the next week the format has shifted so much that it's no longer the best build to be playing. So I felt like every week I was having to pick up new cards, trade for cards, buy cards, whatever, and change my deck every single week just to keep up, and that becomes a lot of homework to keep up with week after week after week.
Yeah, for sure. It's just ever growing at such a faster pace than it really ever has.
Yeah. And
not just like the game and new cards, but like the meta.
Yeah. It's not like Edison format where like obviously the format changes, but I mean, I think realistically, like you could put together a deck and not change it at all ever, and once you've like refined it, and I still feel like you could do well with it. Like if you never change a single card, and like with Modern, that's just simply just not going to happen. Like obviously, you know, for Edison, I would tell you to follow the trends and like kind of build around what people are playing, but you know, we're locked into like a certain format with a certain ban list with a certain card pool. So like, you know, you're never going to have to buy insane new cards. And that kind of brings me, I guess, not really into my next topic, but kind of like an extension of this topic is the cost is so much more cost efficient, this format. Like, I'm pretty sure if you wanted to build every single deck in the format, you could build it for less than $200, every single deck. And you could play a different deck every week for months.
It's true. You can't go around just pick up like a...
I don't know. Blackwing's getting pretty expensive with them Armor Masters.
Yeah, but like even with that, so like Armor Master being like $35 and you need 2, and then like 2 Royal Oppression, like that's probably the most expensive deck that I can think of. Like the next is probably like Frogs because you have to have Substitute, but I think like,
I do like this. This is a format that unless you go to a Konami sanctioned event, you can use OCG cards. So
yes,
this format really adheres to the budget players.
Yes. And like, you know, sometimes it's just nice to flex like an OCG rarity. Like I actually just got some Rush Duel Cyber Dragons from Tom Mack, and I'm picking them up at the Philly event next week. And I'm super hyped to pick those up. They look so good.
Yeah. I just got an ultimate rare 5-headed dragon from Tom and a play set of collector's rare red MDs from Tom. And I have a play set of CR debris dragons from Tom.
Yeah.
I bought 2 LT Armor Masters from Tom because my English ones got lost in the mail.
It's enough said that Tom Mack is the GOAT, and you should buy all of your OCG cards from him.
Yeah. Check him out on Facebook. TOMMAK. Doesn't get much more simple than that. He's in all like the trade groups.
Yeah, dude, Tom Mack be the GOAT.
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
He's also got an eBay store you can look at.
Yeah.
But I message him on Facebook. You get better prices most of the time.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'll put the link to his eBay store in the description below after this posts, so you guys can find it. So I have a couple other points here about why I quit Modern, and then we can talk about like things you like about Edison, things you dislike, like compared to things you like and dislike about Modern. So obviously we touched on things like the cost, Edison being much more cost efficient. Another thing is like the time rules don't suck for Edison format. And this is a topic that's been discussed hundreds of times since Konami changed the time rules. But I do like how when the timer goes off, if I'm in my draw phase, I don't just lose the game because I'm in my draw phase. And that's something that really deters me from modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I feel like the first like 35 minutes of the game are played at a normal pace. And then the last 5 minutes are a race just to see who can play faster than the other one. And I just don't like that. I don't like being in my standby phase and someone sends a volcanic scatter shot, hits me for 500 and I lose. I think that's just so defeating. I understand the real reason why they changed the time rules, even if they won't admit it, is because of people taking 45 minutes to play 5 turns. And I understand it is nice to get out of a regional at 6 o'clock versus midnight. And I don't think that I would go back to the other time rules for Modern just because of that. Because that's already like an all-day commute. Usually you wake up at the butt crack of dawn, drive 2 to 3 hours to go to these things, and you're there all day. Then you drive 2 to 3 hours to go back, and then the judge staff gets there before we do and stays after we're gone. So I can't even imagine how hard that was for them. But I'm really glad that Edison operates off of the old time rules, and that people, I mean, every Edison event we've been to, I mean, people have played through the additional turns pretty efficiently, I would say.
Yeah, that's crazy that you can go through like those additional turns and still be done quicker than somebody trying to burn somebody with 500 with scatter shot.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. I played a game. It's been about a year ago, where the guy took probably 6 minutes in time just so he could burn me with Destiny Hero Dystopia, even though he opened up with Fusion Destiny in his hand.
Yeah.
Like that, to me, like you know what you're doing at that point. And in Edison, like you can't do things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the exact same way. So that's like the main points that I have. Obviously, like I'm sitting here looking at this book and I have a ton of other things that I could go through and talk about, but that's like the main points for me. Like the cost, the prizing, the time rules, things like that. And I think like, obviously nothing against any of our friends or our fan group. I think the people in the Edison community are just a little more welcoming than like a lot of the bigger players for Modern. Because like I've reached out to like Hydro Pump several times for help, and he's like gotten back to me very quickly, where like a lot of the better players for Modern just leave you on red, don't talk to you. So
Yeah, I think the events are a lot cooler too. Like you don't see people getting upset because they lost, or making excuses. And you got those kind of players everywhere, but it's not to the extent that it is with modern Yu-Gi-Oh. Where like people just get so up in themselves and everything, and it's always like, well, you won because of this, like. And I think it goes back to where Edison is just like more of a back and forth game. Like it really comes down to like who the better player is.
yeah,
Because there's really auto win boards,
yeah,
So.
yeah,
Plus, like a lot of people, it's cool too. Is like you seeing the players that are like going to Edison that didn't start playing Yu-Gi-Oh until like 2016, 2017, right?
yeah,
And it's really cool being in the position to be able to coach those guys.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving into our second topic here, which is discussing the pros and cons of Edison as compared to the pros and cons of Modern. So, is there anything about Modern that you like more than Edison format?
I mean, you get new cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Um,
get new cards.
the card pool. I mean, just you have more cards to play with. I think it's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah,
A lot of themes that have been expanded upon. Like of course, you have like the new like Stardust support. You have like new Blackwing support. Things like that, which is always pretty cool to play around with. Of course, it's still fun going to like big events like regionals and YCSs. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
It's still fun watching some of the feature matches and everything like that.
yeah. So,
real quick, I think the lore has gotten better.
Real quick, I'll mention this. So Cody that we had on the podcast a couple weeks ago commented on here earlier, and he said last regional we held 2 Time Wizard format side events, and people were dropping from the regional just to play in those side events, which I think that is insane. That is so cool. I didn't even know that they held Time Wizard events at regionals. I guess that's yeah. He said from the
really cool.
regional. Yes, I didn't even know that they did that.
I spoke with the side deck because they hold a lot of regionals around our area. And they told me last season was going to be GOAT format, and this season, which I'm assuming started this past, I guess with Photon Hybernova,
Yeah,
was going to be Edison.
yeah.
So yeah, they got Time Wizard events. I don't know what kind of pricing they give for those, but I mean,
Probably a play mat.
that's, yeah, it's still
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that they would support those side events at a regional, like that's really cool, and it kind of makes me wish I'd went to like Richmond or Greenville because I didn't know that they were doing that. So something that I like about modern Yu-Gi-Oh, compared to Edison format is like rarity bumping on cards, which is nice. Like out of OTS packs, getting the old teas and stuff like that. So I'm like still holding out that one day we'll get like a Time Wizard pack and they'll give us like high rarity versions of cards that we don't have. Like, could you imagine like an Ulti Cold Wave or an Ulti Royal Oppression or like Ulti Kalute?
Any foil of Cold Wave, actually.
Yeah, please. Or like Ulti Black Whirlwind would look so good. Like, can we? If someone from Konami is watching, can we like, can we get that going? That would be amazing. Copium. Austin, what about you? You've been quiet for a while. Where you been?
I've just been listening to let you guys talk.
Is there anything that I feel like obviously, we get new cards and stuff like that, but is there anything that you like more about Modern than Edison?
I think, just honestly, just opening the new packs and things like that, I miss. But other than that, not really. I mean, I just enjoy Edison so much. I think the closest thing that we've had to opening packs for Edison was the Crystal Revenge pack where Blackwings got reprinted out the Yin Yang.
Yeah.
But, I mean, other than that, I wish there was, like, some Edison-related packs that we could get or something, like some retro packs or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to help support the format. But I also hope that the format doesn't grow so big and so supported that it turns to crap like Konami trying to regulate it and it turns to crap like Modern does. I don't think that will ever happen, but that would be pretty crappy if it did.
Yeah, I think this format is pretty safe as far as something like that goes because to my knowledge, there's not really any real like OTKs or like FTK kind of things. Like, I know like in GOAT format, like Justin was playing this Reasoning Gate deck that would like Delinquent Duo you like 3 times on the first turn. And I'm just like, if I was going to do that, I'd just play Modern. Like if I wanted to not get to play, I would just play Modern instead of playing GOAT.
No, dude. I just played the last turn deck.
In Modern, you can't summon Dark Magician of Chaos to get the spell back immediately, okay?
Okay, that's true.
Exactly.
That's true. So
You
GOAT
can't
format
run
gives
3
you
trap dust shoot.
yeah, GOAT format gives you like a glimmer of hope that you might top deck like Pot of Greed, but you just end up top decking like
Listen, that
Like,
That deck is not great. Like that may happen like 1 out of 10 games, but in the other games, like they're going to call level 8, and you're going to mill DMOC and be like, all right, pass.
bruh,
Like,
I already want, every time someone flips trap dust shoot on me, I like contemplate like how bad going to prison really would be. I can't imagine playing in a format where that can happen 3 times. Like every time someone's like
Have you seen like the?
like dust shooting, I'm just like, you know what? How bad is prison? Like, really, how bad we talking?
so I had 2 cards in my hand, and I played Graceful Charity, and I had a guy chain dust shoot, and he was like, before you discard the 2 cards.
Damn, dude, that's broken. That's very that guy's so 5-head.
I was like, what?
Hey, Justin, have you seen that Horus Reasoning Gate deck?
I don't know if I've seen the list, but I've heard of it. I don't know if I've seen the list. I think I've played it. It's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's good in the mirror match.
I mean, you can like Cyberstein or Metamorphosis out the level 7 King Dragoon,
Yeah.
summon Horus level 6, get 8 by the end phase, and then you can play Decree, Necro Valley, and then Royal Tribute.
This just sounds like
it's really
like modern
toxic.
Yu-Gi-Oh with less steps.
Yeah.
Listen, I had a scoop to an anti-spell fragrance one time when I was playing that deck.
Bro, anti-spell
Oh,
is in
God.
GOAT. Anti-spell is in GOAT?
Oh yeah, it's in good. It was in like one of the first. I think it was like Yu-Gi Power of Chaos, the video game. It was like a promo
Huh.
there.
I actually didn't know that card was in GOAT format.
Oh, it's an old card, dude. It's like as old as like, if I'm not mistaken, around the same time as like Harvey's Feather Duster and stuff.
Well, luckily,
Yeah, it's pretty old. Like,
I'll never get anti-spell flipped on me in GOAT format because I'm not playing a format where dust shoots at 3.
And if you play Konami's GOAT format, they play Cyber Dragon.
Oh god, dude! When they announced that, I was just like, "Bruh, are they gonna like allow Shining Darkness for Edison format? Because that changes everything." Like,
It wouldn't be Edison format anymore. It'd just be,
no, every deck that's like good in Edison format sucks now. Like,
Besides X-Saber.
I'm just playing
yeah,
X-Saber,
X-Saber.
and like you're just dead. Like, you can get your Whirlwind search, that's fine. I'm searching 6 times off of Dark Soul.
You could get away with saying that Raiden's. Yeah, Raiden was a special edition card in Lightsworns. Yeah, Shining Darkness. Yeah, you didn't know that? Like,
Yeah.
Want to come to Mill 2, please?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's right.
Gosh, we need to do like a market channel type deal, like a market watch.
Yeah, we do. What do you think some of the cons of Edison format are, besides Trap Dust Shoot?
The card pool.
Yeah. I mean, I guess a pro of the card pool is, like, you kind of know what you can expect.
Yeah.
Because, like, the meta's, like, so changing in Modern and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, a whole group could have a new tech card out by the time you went to an event and you didn't have time to prepare for it. But it's also kind of interesting at Edison because it makes it a little harder to kind of push the envelope with new tech cards and decks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I almost kind of like how it's kind of challenging in that way. I like making spicy lists.
I was working on my fairy list earlier, and I don't think I'm going to end up doing it. But I was telling Justin, like, I kind of wanted to side deck Shining Angel. Instead of playing 3 consecrated, side deck 2 angels and 1 consecrated. So, like, obviously consecrated is in there for Blackwing. So, like, they hit your angel with Shura, and they're chainlink 1, you're chainlink 2, and you go into consecrated, and then they don't get to summon. But I also thought it was really spicy if you could, when you play against gadgets, because Christia Sworn, in my experience, just cannot beat gadgets. I don't know why. Like, Machina gadget. I guess it's because Fortress is just so good. But I was thinking, like, you could summon Shining Angel, ram green gadget, kill them both, and then float into Proto Cyber Dragon, and then contact their Fortress away. So,
That would be pretty funny.
I was really cooking earlier. Because I was going to go for...
like,
sorry, Justin, go ahead.
no, you're good. Like, there's no good level 7 synchros.
No, we have Black Rose. It's at 1.
Yeah, like, outside of Black Rose, like, the level 8 synchro pool is pretty good. Like, the level 6 is okay.
Bruh. How you
but,
gonna
like,
leave
there's
out
just
my
no good
boy?
level 7.
How you gonna leave out my boy X-Saber Urbellum like that?
I said there's no good level 7s.
X-Saber Urbellum stacked a card from your opponent's hand to top of their deck for you, and that's how you talk about him?
Like, are you going to summon Black Rose Dragon or summon Ancient Fairy in defense mode? Like, I just wish the level 7 pool was a little bit better.
You're just mad because
Yeah,
I stacked cards to the top of your
I
deck
wish
with
the-
Urbellum and then discarded them with Airbellum for like 2 months straight.
I wish the level 9 pool was better.
Mistworm. There you go. That's all you get. Kind of glad we don't have Trishula, though. That'd be kind of wild, to be honest.
Is
I'm just glad we don't have Trishula because I don't want to buy an ultimate.
is Mistworm the only like generic level 9 in Edison?
I feel like it might be.
Do they have like
Is Gotham's level 10?
Gothams needs Earth
I think you
Tuner.
need Earth Tuner. Those
Oh.
2 or more Earth monsters. They can all be tuners, I think.
There's that weird, there's like another level 9 or 10, I think it's like, but I think it requires a psychic, the Hypernova thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Hyper Psychic Blaster or something?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, we don't even have like that Allah have Justice Field Marshal thing that came out. It's not even good, but people just played it because they couldn't get Mistworm.
Dude, I remember playing Decisive Armor back in 2011. That card was busted against Lightsworns.
Yeah. You know what
It's
else
like, oh,
was,
yeah.
was busted when it came out? Star Eater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It
Give
was
me
like the
that
first
card.
level 11 synchro, wasn't it? Or not the first, but like, first kind of like generic one.
Yeah, I think it's still the only. Is it the only generic level 11 synchro? I'm pretty sure it is.
Dude, you know what card was really good whenever it came out?
What's that?
Beelzy.
Bills?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, yes.
I played that in like the Lavalval Chain Zombie deck I had.
Dude, that card was insane when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah, now people just use Beals for FTKs.
Oh my gosh. I remember when Orient Dragon first came out. And like, I picked up a copy for like $10. I'm like, this card is like very underrated. And I think I saw some play like in 2011,
Yeah.
but not much. It was just like an easy out to like Stardust Dragon and stuff.
It actually made the Redragon like do something into a level 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Orient Dragon.
Trying to think if there's any other cons of Edison format that I really just dislike.
I think another pro though is like it's easy for new players to get into.
It is.
Like you can introduce them to like the fusion and the synchro mechanic, and then they can work their way up to modern format.
Yeah, and something else I'll add too is like the rulings for Edison format are very concrete, where like the rulings for modern Yu-Gi-Oh are crazy because every card does 25 different things. Like, unless you're playing like Black Garden deck, like the rules are pretty easy until you get into like Honest and Colute Wars. But like other than that, like I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I think Damage Step Yu-Gi-Oh is like,
Yeah.
I wish it was just laid out a little bit simpler.
Yeah, every format Damage Step Yu-Gi-Oh is the hardest part of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
I agree.
Damage Step has like 15 steps to it.
Yeah.
Almost 7.
Ty commented and said one of the pros for or one of the cons for Edison is top deck brain control and top deck heavy, and I couldn't agree more.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
brain control, Minecon, Caius. That's the
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we can't like get another ban list for Edison. I guess that's a con. We can't get rid of Duff Shoot,
Yeah.
Future Fusion, Brain Control.
You know what my biggest
Why
con
would you
with
wanna
Edison
get-
format is?
I would never want to get rid of Future Fusion. That card is not even that good.
That's enough out of you, buddy.
My biggest con is I think I'm going to start deck checking people because I think people out here playing 3 Dark Armed. That card drops down way too much. Like, people be like, nothing on field, nothing in hand, draw Dark Armed, and it's live. Like, it happens so often, and I hate it. Like, I'm thinking about going to prison again.
Like playing 3 Whirlwind.
Right. Sunday, I had Dark Armed in every opening hand.
Dude, I
The Dark
swear,
Arm was there.
I just don't know how it
And
happened.
I couldn't do anything with it. It was just sitting
But
in
it's
my
just
hand.
the fact that it was there, Austin. It doesn't even matter. It was there. Every opening hand. Why? Why?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I couldn't summon it.
You know how often I draw Lumina? Never. Never. She's the first one
You're
to
gonna charge the
go.
light brigade. You just search it.
She's the first one to go. I'm like, normal trooper mill 1, it's always Lumina. Don't ever do that. Don't ever trooper for 1 unless you're like, it makes sense, but
Unless you don't want to deck out, I guess.
yeah, like the only time I ever troopered for 1 is if I like stack Wolf for Plague.
True.
Sometimes you do that, but Corey asked what were the cons that we listed, or like why we quit playing Modern, which was kind of at the start of the video. But basically, we talked about how the prizing for Edison was real. Like you can win cash, actually large sums of cash for Edison, and it makes the events a little more worth going to because you're actually taking home that cash versus like having to just win prizing and then try to sell it. We also talked about how the game is much cheaper, and the format, while the format does change and evolve, if you just put together one deck and never changed it, you would be way more fine in Edison format than you ever would Modern. Like, you don't change your Modern deck for a week, and all of a sudden you're just way behind everyone. That was something else that we talked about, just to catch you up to speed, Corey. But
yeah, there's just not a whole lot of cons for Edison for me. I just think the format's just really fun.
Yeah, I do too.
And it's definitely it's definitely really competitive.
Yeah, I don't think Edison has as many cons as GOAT format to me. I know that I made the meme earlier about Dust Shoot, but like I feel like every time I sit down and play GOAT, like I'm never setting my Sangan because they always have knock no matter what, and then whoever like Pot of Greeds into Graceful like just wins most of the time from what I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen people just normal summon Sangan on their first turn so it doesn't get knocked.
Yeah, that's anytime on the rare occasion that I play GOAT, that's what I do. I'm like, I will normal summon Gravekeeper Spy, face up. And I will set my Book of Moon, and I'll book it on your end face so you can't knock me.
5-head.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much. And then I tried to play one GOAT game with Justin, and then this man reasoning gated me and took my whole hand on the first turn. I'm like, well, this is awesome. I'd just play against Modern Dark World at this point. Ain't that right, Justin?
I think it's still better than Modern Dark World.
I think GOAT is better Modern. Changed my mind.
GOAT is better. Modern. Hey, I mean, at least like in
Dude,
GOAT, like
I only like GOAT because I could play last turn. That card is amazing.
Talk about rulings. Ooh.
Yeah.
And self-destruct buttons at 3.
I'm never playing GOAT format with you.
Yeah, so if you don't win with Jowgen, you just flip self-destruct button and you just go again.
Yep.
I hate it. I hate it so much. The closest thing to like an FTK and Edison format is like normal Gladiator Beast Laquari set 5, including like Road, Judgment, Bottomless, Chariot, and then like any other random card, just whatever you want to. Like that's probably like the closest thing to an FTK.
Yeah,
They do
or
have
Black
that
Wings
weird
having like
plan
Judgment, Oppression, Icarus Attack, Whirlwind, Shurikalut.
thing. Yeah. Edison does have that weird like it's like some kind of plant OTK or something. I don't know what it is. I've never seen anyone play it.
Gigaplant?
No, I don't remember the name of it. The card's banned in Modern. It's like some kind of insect or a plant.
Phoenixine Cluster or something or whatever? Amaryllis? I don't know.
Yes, yeah, Amaryllis. That's what it is. I don't know what it does or how it works, but I just know I've heard people talk about it.
It's not very consistent.
That's fine. I really don't mind OTKs as long as they're inconsistent.
Yeah, Amaryllis Burn. Ty just said. Is that a FTK deck or is it an OTK deck?
It's an OTK deck.
Oh,
not an FTK.
gotcha. That makes sense then. Yeah, I've never
So
tried to get FTK'd.
have you guys seen the I don't know if you guys want to talk about like new decks or anything, but have you guys seen the Chaos? Well, it's the Carpath list. The Chaos Fairy deck.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Dude.
insane.
Everybody online has been playing that like this past week, and I feel like when we go to reading, we're going to see a lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't know about a lot of it, but I think we'll definitely see a little bit of it.
Have you seen that good stuff Machina deck that topped? It was that like Rescue Cat and like
Yes.
yeah,
That deck was insane.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Prepare your Cyber Dragons again. Machina becoming real big again.
Hey, they.
I think what
they never
annoys me
left.
the most about what annoys me about the Chaos Fairy deck is the fact they can recur Battle Faders so easily,
Mm.
and that it's just hard to push for game. Like I was playing Lightsworn versus it last night, dude, and they added Battle Fader back to hand off Dimension Alchemist probably 3 times, and with me milling cards every turn, like it was Sun and Caius, and these banished, added back off Dimension Alchemist, like. Every
No,
turn, it's just hard to push for game against that deck.
You know what would have helped you in that situation?
What?
Playing the Christia deck. You just summon Christia. And then there's no Battle
Dude, be
Fader.
quiet.
Hey, you
Mind
quiet.
Crush.
Just stop. Just stop with the Christian deck. It's not good.
What were you saying, Justin?
Oh, I'm just saying, like, it was just like, oh, I got game on board. It's like, no, I'm going to add back Battle Fader.
Yeah, continuously add back Battle Fader.
Dude, I won one game. It was like, I didn't have any cards in my deck left. I'm like, I got to win this turn. I hope he doesn't have Battle Fader. He had, I forget what it was, but like, I returned the one card in my hand to the top of my deck, Perplex Redder. It's like, I was able to win that game.
That really happens more often than it should. But I've done that in my time several times as well.
But I
Sometimes
saw this,
Sorry, what?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, so like, I was going back and looking at like deck lists from the Lasius that was giving away like the playmat,
Yeah.
and there was I don't know how this guy had a 40 card deck. He was playing a Vayu Turbo Engine. He was playing a complete Lightsworn package. He was playing a zombie package, and the list was brutal. He was playing like 2 Sirocco, 2 Vayu, like an Armageddonite. He was playing like Master Mizuki, Plex Redder, then like the whole like Lightsworn engine. And a Chaos engine. A Chaos engine too with Caius. In a 40 card deck. I was like, I don't know how this guy can fit everything in here, but like it looked pretty cool.
He couldn't decide what to play, so he just played everything. I respect it. I
That's what it
respect
was.
it. I respect it. There's that there's like that Witch of the Black Rose Gallus the
Yeah.
Star Beast Monster Mash deck that's pretty wonky looking too. I've been wanting to try that.
That deck is really cool. I think Skill Drain's an FTK versus that deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Dude, Skill Drain's an FTK versus like Christia. Like I almost lost to BJ on Sunday. And all he did,
Oh,
the
God.
bad part was he normaled Sparkman. Okay? This is the bad part. This man goes normal Sparkman and set 2. And one of them being Skill Drain, and I lost that game because I couldn't get
Oh,
over
man.
Sparkman.
The beauty of Edison losing to Sparkman.
Yeah. And then the next in game 3 when I played him, he set Clayman under Skill Drain, and I had to wait another turn to get over Clayman.
Boy, please edit this part out of the podcast.
Do what?
Please edit this portion of the podcast.
Unfortunately, it's live.
It
So
is.
We can't have people thinking you lost to a defensive no Clayman.
I didn't lose. I won the match, but hey, I could have. If he attributed,
Bruh,
if he attributed that defense position Clayman for Caius, I would have listed everything I owned.
Dude, if you would have said next turn he's used for Thunder Giants, I probably would have dropped my phone.
Bro, if someone did that to me, I'd shake their hand. I'd be like, "You deserve it." Like, I'd be like, "Here's, you know what? You can just have my deck. Like, here you go. You now own me." I have seen him bring
Almost
out.
like losing to Shield Crush.
I have seen him bring
Hey.
out Wild Edge before, though.
So this is a little bit off topic, but did you see that guy playing in the YCS that had his whole extra deck as a Dragon Link deck?
No.
So he was playing the new Labyrinth deck, right?
Yeah.
It's a trap deck, and he was playing against the Kashtira deck, and they have the rank 7 that can look to your opponent's extra deck and banish a card.
Yeah.
And he had a complete Dragon Link extra deck. So the other dude locked out his monster zones thinking he was playing against Dragon Link, and the other guy's like, set 5 pass.
Bruh. That's actually really 5-head. That's hilarious. Yeah, if I was playing a deck that didn't need the extra deck, I would 100% do that.
Like flu or something.
The other guy banished his Striker Dragon.
Do you know what I would do? I would make my extra deck 15 cards that just enable FTKs, because there's a lot of them. Like Cupid Pitch is involved in like every FTK, like Power Tool Dragon.
Fish Vulcan.
Yeah, all these different cards that like your opponent looks at and they're like, this is some kind of FTK deck. And then you just set 5 and pass. We love to see that.
Do an Edison extra deck.
Oh my god.
1 Brio, 1 Goyo, 1 Black Rose.
1 Tempest Magician, get disqualified.
Oof.
1 Stardust Dragon, 1 Red MD.
Yeah, and then I'm going to play 1 Change of Heart, so maybe I
That's
can
Red
steal 2.
MD. RDA is what I meant.
I was saying, why are you playing a Red MD in your extra deck?
Yeah. RDA is what I meant.
And that's
Clearly,
how I got
I'm
a game
sleep
lost.
deprived.
I would also,
It's
at
like
that
when
point, I would play 1 Change of Heart in my main just so I could, like, make the extra deck happen sometimes.
It's like when you played against the Sky Striker player in the Edison tournament.
Yeah. There was
Oh my god.
this card I looked at earlier that I've never read before, but I heard someone talk about it. It's called Zaman the Ape King. It's a level 7.
Oh, yeah, that's
synchro.
Z-Man.
Yeah, it needs a dark
Z-Man the
tuner
Ape King.
and a non-tuner beast, so you can make it with Gale and Hamster. And he's like an Ancient Gear Golem. When he attacks, your opponent can't activate anything. And if your opponent monster declares an attack, you can send a monster from hand or field to negate the attack. So I was like, why do decks that play Hamster and Gale like just not play this guy? Like, that's actually kind of crazy.
Have you seen the Underground Arachnid card, I think is what it's called, that synchro?
Yeah.
It's basically like relinquished.
Yeah.
Clearly, we know Michael didn't watch the 5Ds era of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I did not. This is kind of bad in hindsight now, but I thought that the concept when I was a kid of playing cards while riding a motorcycle was so stupid that I never watched it as a kid.
Dude, it was like the best series.
I've watched
Undoubtedly.
some of it now. It's just hard to find places to actually watch it, but it is good. I've never watched past 5Ds though.
You can watch it for free on Tubi TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tubi TV. It's got like a couple ads in it, but like it's.
Okay.
I was watching it the other night when you called me.
I'm gonna have to look into that then, because I've like
Dude.
watched all the obviously the original and then like GX, but only like probably 10 episodes of 5Ds.
Dude, they kill people in the Japanese version.
Mm-hmm.
Like this chick gets busted through a window, dude, like falls to her death.
Bruh. This has been a dark podcast. I've talked about like people flipping dust shoot on me and me contemplating going to prison or like putting my head through the wall, you know, like people going to the shadow realm. It's been quite the journey tonight's episode has been.
Did I just like phase out for part of this podcast? I remember none of that.
I
Bruh.
think you did.
I went on like a tangent for 15 minutes on every time someone flips trap dust shoot, I wonder how bad prison would actually be.
Dude, I must have just like fell asleep apparently. I remember none of that.
Like every time, and they always have it at the worst time. I'm like, I draw my first 5 and I have like recharge and no light sworn name, and then I draw for turn, it's a light sworn, then they flip dust shoot, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to prison. I almost said Shawshank. I don't know if that's a real prison, but
Bruh, let me tell you, every time I've run into trap dust shoot, I always go standby phase. No trap dust shoot. No, all right, cool. Keep playing. Cards of Consonance, ditch Whitestone, draw 2, search Blue Eyes, trap dust shoot. I'm like, bruh, are you kidding me? I had trading in my hand.
Yeah, I know. It happens. So every time I summon a Lila and pass, and they set 1 and pass, I just always know it's like trap dust shoot. I just know it's coming.
Yeah, I guess the worst part is that it's kind of sacky because not only because it's a 1-up, but like the condition you have to have 4 or more cards. So after the pass, like the few early turns, like it's probably dead.
Bruh,
Yeah.
Cole, what are you talking about? Anytime someone trap dust shoots me, it's always live. I always got 4 more cards in my hand.
Yeah, that's because you.
Well, I mean, when you activate Super Rejuvenation.
Yeah, it's just like it's almost like your deck draws its whole deck. Then I dust shoot a card back, and then you just draw that card again anyway.
All right.
All right, so we have about 10 minutes left, and something important that we need to mention is next Friday night we're gonna have the podcast. So that will be, let me check the date just to be sure. February 24th, we'll have the podcast that night. Justin, Cole, and myself will be having it live from our hotel room in Philadelphia, or in Pennsylvania, Reading, Pennsylvania. And basically what we're going to do in the chat is we're going to end up giving away a secret Italian Judgment Dragon and 2 Ultimate Armor Masters, OCG Armor Masters, so to somebody in the chat. And did we decide, Justin, did we decide we're going to take raffle tickets for this, or how do we decide you want to do this?
I don't know. If we're already going to be in Pennsylvania, we can just raffle them. Not raffle them, but just give them away.
Give them away to one lucky viewer. Okay, so the
we need to have a stipulation, not just pick something random.
Yeah.
But I think whoever interacts with the podcast the most.
Yeah. So what I'll probably do is something like everyone that within reason. I mean, if 2,000 people comment, it's gonna be difficult, but we will do our best to take note of everyone that comments on the live stream, and we'll do some kind of random generator. And
maybe better yet, you could do what's your favorite Edison card and why?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So pretty much, moral of the story here is make sure that you're watching next Friday night at 9 o'clock, because you do want to be able to win these cards.
Why don't you make a community post,
Yeah.
and they can comment on the community post for a week. They give them a week and 2 days.
Yeah.
So we can see what kind of comments we get between now and then.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so we have about 7 minutes left. Anybody have any closing statements? Anything that you've thought of, like another reason why you got out of Modern, or any pros or cons for anything that you can think of?
No.
I'm pretty good. I like the fact that you can max rarity. I like the fact that a lot of cards that come in ultimate rare. I know that's a really weird thing to say, but I like how you can have your extra deck all have the same rarity.
Yeah, the extra decks for Edison are really nice. I'm more partial to the ultimate rares, even more than the ghost rares. And I really don't like the Starlight rares.
I think they look okay on some cards, but I don't think they look good on synchros.
I don't think they do either. They look like they came out of a Mega 10.
Yeah, I don't think it's collector's rares. I don't think collector's rares look really good on XCs. So I think the rarities match cards better. I think that Starlights look really, really good on fusions or links.
Yeah.
I think collector's rare looks really good on links too. But I don't know. You said that you didn't like your collector's rare card trooper that much, didn't you?
So little backstory here was I ordered the CR card trooper the next day after that set had came out. It was the only card in the entire set I cared about. Probably the only good card in that whole set. The whole set was pretty trash. But I ordered it. It was $23, I think, and I got it in the mail. And at first, I was really disappointed because I did not think it didn't look like a good CR. But pretty much the thing about that card trooper is it's just hard to see the CR design on it. But once you see it and you know it's there, it is pretty beautiful. So I think I think I've come around to it. I think I like it now.
I might give me one then. Is it relatively cheap still?
I can look it up. It's not. I don't think it's really expensive. That's another thing too. Like going back to the OCG cards thing for Edison, is the OCG CRs look so nice.
Oh, dude, my Debris Dragons look really good.
Yeah, your Debris Dragons look good. I'm really excited to see the Darkness Metals. So, Card Trooper CR actually went up. They're close to 40 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they are 40. So that's actually crazy. I don't know why that went up. I guess because it's the only card in the set people actually want.
I don't even know what else comes in that set, like some kind of ritual archetype.
Yeah, I haven't obviously I haven't kept up with Modern much, but like just reading the card pool for that, I was like, this set is just kind of bad.
I think what would be really cool to do on a future episode would be like to go through the Edison format. I wouldn't say packs because like the format wasn't long, but like going through like the packs of the 5Ds eras
Yeah.
and talking about like the cards in that set and what impact they had on Edison.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I think that'd be like a really fun future episode to do. Like go through like Ancient Prophecy, Crimson Crisis, Duels Genesis, things like that.
Yeah.
And like like we do like a different pack each like episode.
Yeah.
As like just a portion of that episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. If anyone that's listening, either during the live stream or watching it after the fact, has any suggestions of a topic that you would like to see, definitely let me know. We could do anything from card discussions to talking about how Austin thinks Future Fusion is the most fair and balanced card in the format.
Bruh, that card is fair and balanced.
To talking about how Austin lost to Shield Crush.
Bruh.
The list goes on and on. To talking about how I lost to Sparkman. We could go on and on about this.
Look, let's just talk about how our team captain is the only person who doesn't have a top 4 in Edison yet.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm coming up, though. I'm on my way.
Not while you playing Christian Sworn.
I'm going to get there. Look, you just
Dude,
worry
that
about...
deck's cracked.
Yeah, you just worry about...
I went through an entire tournament with that deck. That deck is not cracked.
You just worry about getting revenge on Austin Jones next week.
Look.
A man who played Edison format for the first time.
Look. There was no way I was beat. And I got the messages from you, Michael, that says it is really hard to beat. Mind control, brain control, Caius.
Look, that's at the point where, like, I'm just drawing extra cards. Like, hey, look, man, your shoe's untied.
Man, speaking of which,
there's just
I don't know what I'm going to do with that Collector's Rare Stardust that I'm going to get this Saturday.
I mean, I guess you can hand it to me when I win it Saturday.
What? No.
Yeah, just give it to me. I thought we were gonna sell it and split the money.
I want to sell it back to the shop so we can have another tournament.
Bruh, that's like, I'm pretty sure the Nintendo Switch that Picante has been passed around a few times.
Yeah. No, so I was
I was
talking to Boyd about it.
It's a couple of events old.
I think what we're going to do is sell the Stardust. If somebody, well, I can't speak for you. Are you going Saturday, Cole?
No.
Okay, so when me or Boyd inevitably win the Stardust Dragon Saturday, we're going to end up selling it to go towards money for our trip. So, like, we can all go out to, like, a really nice dinner Friday night.
Yeah,
Nice.
so pretty much one of us has to win. So, like, please. And by that, I mean Justin, you have to win.
Bruh, Cole gonna be too busy getting second place to me, and I can win that hoodie on Sunday.
Homie.
Bro, what size is that hoodie? Because I'd be
My
pissed.
size, that's what it is.
Extra
I'd be
small.
pissed if I was like, yeah, I'd be pissed if it was like extra small.
Justin, you ain't got to worry about it because you're going home with me anyway, so don't worry about it.
Hey, what's on the back of it? Ancient Guardians?
I don't think anything's on the back of it.
Yeah, Ancient
But
Guardian. What if it
he
actually
does have.
was,
He
though?
said it. He said if we get 20 people, then he'll put. He has 2. He said if we get 20 people for Edison, then he'll put both up. Otherwise, we have to have at least 10 for the one.
Bro, there's not even a 20-person population in Mount Airy.
Dude, we get the Jonesville crew too. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
All you gotta do is get past Austin Jones.
Is that the kid that played Blackmore?
No, it's
Michael.
just funny. I'll fill you in on him later. Austin has to get past him, and I have to get past BJ.
You're dead to me.
You have to get a past the 2000 defense Clayman.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I mean, you know, it's Alias can't swing over it.
Nobody can Gemini Spark.
Yeah, the theory's
No,
there.
have you seen The Wrath of Neos? Have you read that part?
Dude, stop.
Listen,
We're not-
in faith.
I'm ending the podcast.
Gemini Summoner, pay 500 life points, summon Neos Alias with his effect. Your turn. Wrath of Neos, blow up the field, attack for 1900, you win.
This is like Table 500 Edison edition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, guys, that's about all the time that we have tonight. So be sure to, once again, tune in next Friday night at 9 o'clock. We're going to be giving away some prizes to lucky listeners, and you don't want to miss that. So this is the Edison Club podcast signing out until the next one.